Christie spoke to Jake Tapper of CNN, and he outlined who he thinks is the biggest problem in American politics.
During your first term as governor, you were fond of saying that you can treat bullies in one of two ways. Quote, you can either sidle up to them or you can punch them in the face. You said, I like to punch them in the face. At the national level, who deserves a punch in the face?
Oh, the National Teachers Union, who's already endorsed Hillary Clinton 16, 17 months before the election.
Why?
Because they're not for education for our children. They're for greater membership, greater benefits, greater pay for their members. And they are the single most destructive force in public education in America. I've been saying that since 2009. I've got the scars to show it, but I'm never going to stop saying it because they never changed their stripes.
This guy's embarrassing, man. This guy's embarrassing. And I got to tell you, I'm actually a little surprised as to how poorly he's doing now that the first debate is approaching. I thought that at this point in time in the election, he would have been able to surge a little bit and been higher in the polls. There are some polls that has this guy like 1%, man. That's disastrous. There was a story earlier today. He was at a horse racing event recently. The entire crowd was booing him. I'm like, oh my goodness. Remember, this is a guy who, for his last election, he won in a fucking landslide in that election. He got like 60% of the vote or something ridiculous in a blue state in New Jersey. So a bunch of people, including myself at the time, I was like, ooh, boy, look out. You know, you got to be a little careful here. This guy's a big Wall Street sellout. He's got the fake tough guy attitude that people on the right will like. But he still hasn't caught on, and perhaps he hasn't caught on because of shit like this. Really, dude? Really? Oh, yeah, who would I punch in the face on the national level? Teachers' unions. Fucking teachers ruining America again. God damn it, guys. There you go again, educating our kids and whatnot. Assholes. Who says that? For fuck's sake, man, just off the top of my head, as he was talking there, I jotted down just some of the groups of people who I think deserve a punch in the face a little more. Maybe Wall Street does, lobbyists, the military-industrial complex, billionaires who buy our system like Sheldon Adelson and the Koch brothers. Nope. Fucking teachers. It's those goddamn teachers. No, but see, this is what happens when you have somebody who has internalized and wholeheartedly believes in the corrupt system that we have. We have a system of legalized bribery in America. We've had that system from the 1980s and onward, unfortunately. But in Chris Christie's mind, he sees no problem with that whatsoever. He knows who his sugar daddies are. He knows who's going to give him the money and who's going to try to prop him up to get him elected. So he would never take a swing at those guys who, by the way, are really destroying America because they set the agenda, and their agenda is against the American people and the middle class and the poor. So what does he do? He takes a swing at the most vulnerable. Oh, fucking teachers. They're so rich. They're doing a shakedown of everybody. How about, you care so much about how much they're getting paid? What, max $100,000 for the best teachers in the best district? What about, I don't know, the bailouts of Wall Street? Billions and billions of dollars? They made bad decisions. They crashed the economy. They gave out predatory loans. They paid hot potatoes with these shitty mortgages. And then what happened? When everything goes belly up, the taxpayers rush in and bail them out. Those same teachers you're slamming, they're the ones who had to bail out the assholes on Wall Street who failed in a free market. I thought you're a free market guy. The way capitalism works is, hey, if you don't make a good product and you suck, tough, you're out of business. Well, these guys couldn't make it in the free market and they failed. And what happened? People like Chris Christie wanted them to rush in and get bailed out. Oh my God, have the government save these guys because they're the smartest guys in the room. I love this line of argument. They're going to lose the top talent if they don't bail them out. Talent? These guys crashed the economy. You should be happy to lose that talent. That's not talented. Anybody can bankrupt a company. You don't need to pay them money to make them stay. If anything, you pay them a little bit to make them fucking leave. These assholes are terrible. But he doesn't see it that way. He looks at a situation where 57% of discretionary spending goes to military spending, and he goes, right on, that's a fucking sacred cow, that's sacrosanct, you can't touch that. 57% needs to go to unnecessary wars overseas in the military-industrial complex. But, the teachers, the fucking teachers, they're the ones who are really shaking us down, huh? They're the problem. No, the problem is not the teachers. Are there minor issues here and there with unions where sometimes some people get a little too lazy and tenure becomes an issue because people don't do their job as well and they get cozy or whatever? Sure, I'm willing to grant that in some circumstances that is an issue, and you can, tweak some rules or laws to try to fix that. But what Christie wants to do very clearly, because he's done it in the past, is throw out the baby with the bathwater. I found one teacher who's lazy in the union. Let's cut their pay 50% and let's get rid of tenure completely and fuck them. Pay them like $30,000 a year to teach your kids. You're concerned that teachers are getting paid too much. I'm concerned they're not getting paid nearly enough. We live in a country where, we have misaligned priorities in many ways. I mean, they would be some of the first people that would get a pay hike if I were president or if I were in charge. But what does he do? He goes to the most vulnerable in society and he bullies them. He thinks they're bullies. No, Chris, you're the bully. You're the bully. You're the person that said, oh my God, we can't afford to pay out on our pensions in New Jersey, as you were given millions in tax dollars to have the Super Bowl in New Jersey. You were giving tax breaks to giant corporations that didn't fucking need it. You were giving tax cuts to the rich, as you said to middle-class workers. Oh, we got to reform these pensions. They just cost too much. Anyway, any rich people want more money, you can raid the Treasury. No, Chris, you're the fucking problem. You're the problem. The lobbyists are the problem. Wall Street is the problem. The problem is not the teachers. The teachers are not ruining America. You and your Wall Street buddies are.